everyone, my name is Christine, and I'm the host here at the Hungarian Heritage Podcast, the show where we connect your modern life to your Hungarian heritage by building bridges and connecting the circles of Hungarians around us. This podcast is a place where everyone is welcome, where you don't even need to be Hungarian or speak Hungarian to join in on the fun. Each week, we're going to talk about all the things that we love about Hungary and Hungarian people. So, if you're looking to make that first connection to your Hungarian heritage, or you're looking to dive a little deeper, then this is the place to be. We're going to discover new things, review things you already may know, and we will have a lot of fun along the way. So today's episode will be an introduction of sorts to let you know what you can expect from the upcoming episodes of this podcast. I'm excited to get this journey started and talk about everything that connects us to our Hungarian heritage. For instance, we will talk to people with a lot of Hungarian heritage who were born in Hungary and still live in Hungary. We're going to talk about Hungarian Americans and Hungarian people who live in different places around the world. Some of our guests will be 100% Hungarian, and some will be people whose heritage is not fully Hungarian, like myself. I'm 50%, but I like to say that I'm 100% in both spirit and pride. As you can already tell, because I've started this podcast, some of my guests will even be people with no Hungarian in their heritage at all. But they've discovered and embraced all the amazingness about Hungary and Hungarian people, either through travel, business, having Hungarian friends, or maybe they even married a Hungarian. No matter how Hungarian you are, or maybe you're not Hungarian at all, here on the podcast, everyone is welcome to learn, share, participate, and enjoy everything about the Hungarian heritage. Mostly, I'm excited about building this podcast so that I can share my passion about my Hungarian heritage with you. It's all about making connections and connecting with each other, which is why we're here. So to have a podcast about Hungarian heritage, one of the most important topics we're going to need to talk about, and we will, is food. Even if someone has very little knowledge of Hungary, they will remember if they've had Hungarian food, even if it's just one dish. So that's why we're going to make sure we talk about lots of Hungarian food here and all the fan favorites. Stuffed cabbage, chicken paprikash, lecho, and langos. And if you know about langos, and if you don't know, we're going to talk about it here, so don't worry. I know that you're probably craving some Hungarian food now that I mentioned chicken paprikash and stuffed cabbage, but let's not forget about desserts. There are so many delicious Hungarian desserts. Two of my favorites are chimney cakes and dobos tort. But we're not just going to talk about our favorite desserts and our favorite Hungarian dishes. We're going to let you know where you can find the best Hungarian food, not only in Hungary, but here in the US and around the world as well. We've got all the experts lined up in our upcoming episodes, and they're excited to share their food passions with you right here on the Hungarian Heritage Podcast. Although Hungarian food and desserts are very important topics when discussing the Hungarian heritage, there are other topics we're going to talk about here on the podcast as well, such as art, genealogy, traditions, holidays, history, music, sports, and even learning the Hungarian language or studying abroad. I don't want to spill all the beans, or should I say lentils, in this first episode, but we do have a long list of things that we're excited to share with you. And most importantly, we do have some episodes that will allow for some audience participation. But I'm going to keep you hanging on that one. We'll talk about that more on the episodes to come. Mostly, we will have discussions with our guests about everyday life in Hungary and what it means to be Hungarian, because Hungarians are everywhere, and we're here to celebrate all of them on this podcast, no matter where they live or how much Hungarian they speak. I can't wait for you to actually hear the upcoming episodes because we have so many great topics and guests. Like I said, we will definitely discuss traditional topics here on the podcast, but we want to dig deeper. We want to explore and share all the things that Hungarians are doing out in the world too. There are a lot of them out there doing great things, and we're here to celebrate all of them right here on the Hungarian Heritage Podcast. Now, one of the most important goals of this podcast is to help people make more connections to their Hungarian heritage and feel included. Maybe you don't have relatives that are cooking traditional dishes for you, or maybe you don't live in an area where there's a nearby Hungarian community, where you can make those connections and possibly attend a Hungarian festival, a dance performance, or some type of outdoor market that has a Hungarian food vendor. Or your connection to your Hungarian heritage might be a few generations back, and you don't even know where to start. If that's the case, starting here at the Hungarian Heritage Podcast is a great place to connect to your heritage and make new friends. Like I said before, there is room for everyone, especially if you don't know where to make those connections. We're here to help. And as the listener, I hope that you're equally as excited for this new adventure because no matter how Hungarian you are, or if you aren't Hungarian at all, I want you to feel included. I'm excited that you're here so that we can embrace the Hungarian heritage as new friends, and we can continue to connect you to other Hungarians. Make sure to tell all of your friends about the podcast so we can continue building bridges and connecting the circles of Hungarians around us. Thanks for joining me today on this very first episode of the Hungarian Heritage Podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode and you're interested in learning more, be sure to sign up for the email list on our website at thehungarianheritagepodcast.com. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Hungarian Heritage Podcast. If you have feedback on today's episode or you'd like to reach me at the podcast, send me an email at hungarianheritagepodcast@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. You'll also find all the ways to connect with the podcast in the show notes below. Thanks to my audio editor, Tori Irvin, for working her audio magic on this episode. Our theme music is Hungarian Dance by Pony Music, used with special license from Envato Market. Thanks again for listening, and don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcasts so we can continue to connect our modern lives with our Hungarian heritage. Until next time, goodbye everyone. Sziasztok mindenkinek!